Many people report that they can't concentrate, they can't balance a checkbook anymore, the word retrieval in particular, and then the motor difficulties which I've described. Now, why is it? Chemotherapy has been around for 30 plus years. Why has it taken so long for this to be recognized as a problem? And I have my theories about this. They're these 5. Basically, the MDs, the oncologists, they're not bad people, as some would have you believe. They're not out there pushing chemotherapy. But their emphasis is on saving your life, not necessarily on quality of life. And it's really only been in the last 5 years that these quality of life issues, like memory, like performance, have been an issue because so many of us are now living into advanced years. So if chemotherapy wasn't working in terms of killing the cancer cells, many of us wouldn't be around to tell the tale, but so many of us are living longer and we are suffering from these side effects. Another reason is that the brain, when I was in graduate school even, the brain was assumed to be static. I had a hard time believing that at the time. As it turned out, that's not the case. I don't know if you remember if those of you might have studied about the brain or about the biology in school or college, where supposedly you were born with a number of cells that you maxed out at about 19 or 20, and it was all downhill after that. You were losing 10,000 brain cells a day. Anybody remember that? Brain static. You never gain more cells. Well, that's totally true, totally untrue. The brain is actually dynamic, and it changes. And think about stroke patients. If they can rewire their brains, why can't we recover from chemo brain? It just makes sense. Anyway, there's this blood-brain barrier, and supposedly chemotherapy was not able to penetrate that barrier. And so supposedly chemotherapy was safe for the brain. It might cause nausea, it might cause other problems, but it wasn't supposed to affect the brain. We also know now that is not the case. I also think that patients are really reluctant to report symptoms. And I'm speaking from personal experience. There's the kind of the brave patient syndrome. I'm like the classic case of that, the warrior, the soldier. Give me all you got, doc, I can take it, you know? And then there are other people that are not quite the same. They're so devastated by the illness, they don't ever really recover. Well, if they're not trying to recover, they may not report the symptoms to their doctor. And some may just think, well, this is stress, or they may not want to acknowledge. I have friends who say, oh no, I don't have chemo brain, but the actual experience of their friends and coworkers is different. And also, this is my husband's favorite, he thought I was just getting old. You know? No, it's just, you're just getting up there. Anyway, I'm still married.